BlackRock purchases 7,860 Bitcoin for $877.2 million, or nearly $1 billion. What are we witnessing then? What do we observe here? Bitcoin purchases by BlackRock are at all-time highs. What are they doing? They realize that the more Bitcoin they own, the more power they have. They see the potential of this asset class and are aware of its scarcity. And the world is now behind this asset, as you are aware. There's a lot of new regulations coming in, you know. Bitcoin is being surreptitiously acquired by BlackRock on a daily basis. Let's be honest, it's rather common for someone who has been in the cryptocurrency sector for more than 10 years to experience that slaughter, retracement, and bull market. However, it's mind-blowing to consider that happening next year. These movements are nothing new to us. Sharp drops are also common if you've watched markets rise during a bull market. And I have made it very evident that we are still in a bull market in each and every one of my updates. You do observe changes taking place. And you know what? Regardless of whether the price of Bitcoin was rising, approaching all-time highs, or falling back below $70,000, BlackRock kept making purchases of the cryptocurrency. Of course, mining Bitcoin gets more difficult over time. Therefore, obtaining Bitcoin is becoming more and more difficult. Naturally, because Bitcoin is so valuable, it is simply not possible for the average person to purchase it with ease. However, welcome back to the XRP family and the Peepo Coin channel. As always, I appreciate you all. Let's examine the current situation and what to anticipate on Friday morning. Thus, we're taking a broad view. Naturally, I will take out the charts and explain the changes that have occurred. Despite the fact that everyone is in agreement, memes continue to outnumber utility projects. I apologize. XRP is up $2 at $2.45, up roughly 1.7% in USC and 2.2% in Bitcoin's relative value since our last update, which was close to $144 billion. In a short period of time, we raised the valuation by about $3 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume is now close to $4 billion. Before we continue, though, I would like to quickly clarify that nothing on this channel is financial advice. Always conduct your own research and due diligence when making cryptocurrency investments. Take a look at this. Big U.S. institutions, including J.P. Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citi, and others, are considering establishing a cooperative cryptocurrency stablecoin. They will arrive. Their goal is to have a piece of the pie. Naturally, a lot of people will enter and ask, why not RLUSD? Of course, that doesn't mean they won't utilize it. Simply put, this is still uncertain. RLUSD is well positioned to dominate the stablecoin market as a whole, particularly when considering it from a regulatory perspective, as well as the usability, presence, and expertise that Ripple possesses. After all, let's face it, many people are unaware that J.P. Morgan Bank of America is one of the major players in the market, but they lack that proficiency with blockchain technology, which is where Ripple enters the picture and alters the rules. Therefore, regardless of whether they adopt RLUSD or not, I believe that eventually they won't be investigating tokenization. Keep in mind that, in terms of tokenization, XRPL Ledger is the one-stop shop outside of J.P. Morgan Bank of America. Hundreds, if not 1,700, different non-disclosure agreements have been signed with Ripple, and there are many larger organizations, institutions, and clients that could join and, of course, begin using Ripple products. I believe that significant things are taking place behind the scenes, but people aren't aware of it. And I believe we're going to start witnessing that in the near future. It goes without saying that people are more interested in the native token and what is actually happening with the price than they are in the product itself. We have been aware that they are making significant waves not only in the US but also around the world. Boheen claims that under President Trump, we will make sure that the US continues to be the global center of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. This is only the start. And I believe a lot can happen under his presidency over the next 4 years. It would be possible to establish a mainstay and make the US the global center. At that point, everything would be established in stone, and large organizations, companies, and cryptocurrency companies could all start up in the US. Thus, everything remains at home. Therefore, even if cryptocurrency did become widely accepted as it currently is, the majority of innovation and attention would go to the nation that is truly the capital, which the US once more aspires to be. Additionally, I believe that the developments we are witnessing are really beneficial for the cryptocurrency market. Now let's have a look at this. Investors from Singapore are covertly hoarding XRP. As awareness of Ripple's practicality and long-term prospects increases across Asia, momentum is growing. Thus, as you can see, this is a list that sort of summarizes the various assets that Singaporeans clearly possess. As you can see, Bitcoin is still the most popular cryptocurrency, held by 68% of investors. On the other hand, XRP is at 17%, while ownership of other cryptocurrencies has grown dramatically. It should come as no surprise that we are discussing one of the biggest assets in the cryptocurrency market, which has a significant following. You just cannot fight against the XRP army, one of the armies. These people have persevered through everything, which shows how strong they are. You guys seen how they held up when the price of XRP first plummeted, and you know that they are resilient and patient, and you know that they deserve it. I'm thrilled for the XRP community if the ETF is allowed, but before, let's have a look at this. I kind of want to talk about the Bitcoin cycles. They deserve all the gains they've already witnessed and what's still to come. This chart is no longer in use, as you are aware, in the cryptocurrency field. I therefore wanted to provide some clarification on it. This is the historical pricing pattern, as you can see, with phases 1 and 2 followed by the banana zone. And we're already here, in my opinion. Personally, I believe that we have already arrived. What people think doesn't matter to me. In terms of history, we're already here because 2025 is already halfway over, which some people find extremely difficult to understand. However, it's true that we've already reached the halfway point of the year. And the cryptocurrency market, in my opinion, is already within this zone. Bitcoin is aiming to reach its second highest point ever. Thus, in the second stage of Bitcoin, the banana zone appears when Bitcoin somewhat cools off, since a decline in dominance is to be expected. Extremely exciting months may be ahead in the months to come, and I have a lot of hope. Naturally, we will proceed cautiously, but historically speaking, this, in my opinion, is when the real excitement starts. Naturally, it would be the cherry on top if ETFs were allowed by then. However, let's discuss the price's actual situation. In terms of dominance, it did decline somewhat in the last few hours, which allowed altcoins to make a slight upward push. However, you may expect Bitcoin's dominance to increase once more, reaching 63.8%. However, we can clearly see that altcoins were given a boost by the fact that we did fall down. Let's give Bitcoin a live refresh on all fronts. There was a slight correction in Bitcoin as well. While Bitcoin's experienced a retracement, dominance also saw a decline, which naturally, as I mentioned, will benefit altcoins. This means that money isn't actually leaving the cryptocurrency space. Rather, it's staying in the space but moving back into the alt, which is exactly what happened.